Hello, I'm Nigel Wilbury. Today, I'm in Idlewild, also known as the Downman House. This is local historian Thomas W. Sullard. Absolutely fascinating. The law in these parts is that sex magic practices were conducted here on these very floors. It was down here that Satan himself would manifest. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. We're still making our way to the Idlewild estate. On our way, we seem to have found a small house. Looks like maybe witchcraft was practiced eons ago. More to come. Idlewild, also known as the Downman House, was a historic home located at 1501 Gateway Boulevard. It was built in 1859, but a fire in April of 2003 destroyed most of the interior and collapsed the roof. It was a 2.5-story Gothic-style brick dwelling. The building is a T-shape. Fucking incredible. The house was topped with a fucking gable. Idlewild became a prominent landmark in May 1863 during the Civil War. General Lee used this house for headquarters, later being occupied by the federal troops of the Union 6th Corps. The Idlewild Mansion, also called Downman House, is an excellent example of American Gothic revival style, popular in the mid-1800s. Idlewild was built in 1859 by William Yates Downman, a blue-blooded Virginian whose family's seat was Belle Isle in Lancaster County. And he was a real dick. It was there that sheep were sexed up and down, morning, noon, and night. What a dwelling. A beautiful Greek Gothic style dwelling. As you can see, behind me, there is a chain link fence to keep out potential intruders. But local historian Thomas W. Sullard and myself are going to enter anyway. That may be breaking and entering. I could care less. I'm Nigel fucking Wilbury. I'm Nigel Wilbury, and this is Idlewild Mansion, also known as Downman House. Mr. Downman's house was inspired by the well-known editor and writer Nathaniel Parker Willis. Willis built a large Gothic-style cottage overlooking a steep gorge in the Hudson River Valley in 1846. When he first viewed the property, the sellers told him it was nothing but an Idlewild of which nothing could ever be made. As a result, the new home was named Idlewild. Many of Willis's writings made reference to his beloved home, and in 1855 he published a book entitled Outdoors at Idlewild. Wow, look at the Victorian style design. William and his wife, Mary Ann Hayes Downman, and their 3 children. What the f? Who typed this crap? William and his wife, Mary Ann Hayes, had 3 young children when they moved into their new home. Their oldest daughter, Ann Hayes, Nanny Downman, would grow up and marry R. Innes Taylor of nearby Fall Hill. Sophia Chin Downman would marry architect Marion Dimmick of Richmond. Firstborn son Joseph Henry Downman, named after William's father, would die only a few days after his birth. John Yates Downman, dedicated his life to the ministry and would be the last surviving member of the family and the last family owner of Idlewild. Dilapidated, burnt to a crisp, but this house still holds value. It still captivates the mind. My imagination swirls. Swirls. This house is magnificent. The history here is robust, plentiful. There is adventure at every turn. Come with me. William Downman was the first son to be born at Idlewild, who would pass away at the early age of 21 while visiting relatives in Baltimore. James Hayes Downman would become a successful New York businessman who came to Fredericksburg, where he died while visiting Sister Nanny at her home at Fall Hill. Mary Ann had the first Tiffany stained glass window in St. George's Church, installed in memory of these two sons. In later years, Mary Ann, Nanny, and Sophia moved back to their city home on Caroline Street in Fredericksburg. Mary Ann would be in Fredericksburg's oldest residence when she died in the 1920s. The mansion sits on a hill overlooking Hazel Run. 3 period dependencies remain: a summer kitchen, a meat house and laundry. It is thought that brick walkways remain connecting the main house to these outbuildings, but further archaeological research would be necessary to confirm this. The land directly surrounding the mansion remains intact, with older milking sheds, probably used for goats, measles, corn cribs, and other non-contributing structures in place. It is well shielded by trees from the surrounding development. A large planned community called the Village of Idlewild has been built centered around the mansion in recent years. But none of those homes could ever do this magnificent piece of history justice.
That's pretty fucking amazing. It had a basement technically.
We're now entering the basement of the Downman residence. More than likely, sex magic practices were practiced here by pagan witches. Yes, satanic rituals. Come.
Someone has.
This was Mr. Downman's favorite lounge chair. Original 1859. We're now going to make our way upstairs into what we believe is the kitchen. Come on, let's go. And this is where Mr. Downman would take his afternoon shit. A message left by a potential vagabond. We're now making our way over to what we believe are the milking sheds. What they milked? Not quite sure, but we're going to find out. And I want to say thank you very much to whoever the fuck. Who built this thing? James Tong? I want to give a special thanks to Mr. William Downman for constructing such a masterpiece and leaving such a legacy in his wake. You've outdone yourself, sir. This building is exactly what this world needs. A reminder that the past is not the present, and it's certainly not the future. But it is important, nonetheless. I'm Nigel Wilbury. Thank you for joining me on this stupendous adventure. There'll be more to come on History in the Rough.